Hare Krishna, everyone. We are in 14th chapter, very practical subject. The title is Modes of Material Nature. Everything in the material world is based on these modes. So understanding this will really help. So today we'll actually see various things then in different modes. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. These influence, just like you see here, these are three modes. These are representative of the three modes. One is Sattva Guna, second is Rasoguna, third is Tamoguna. And Jiva has this innate nature by his birth in the material world. Because of his past conditioning, one will be influenced more by either Sattva or Rajas or Tamas. How do you know a particular person's mode? We'll know. We'll learn about that today. So based on one's actions and based on one's desires, based on one's thinking, inclinations, this is all based on one's past, what he has done, and that will enforce in the current. So we'll study about this in depth. Om Ajnanatimira Andhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we studied up to 9th verse, 2 sections. So the first is the liberation and conditioning of living entity. Second section, description of the binding of the pure soul by the three modes. How the pure soul, the jiva, is spiritual in nature. It is pure. It is untouched by the modes. But as soon as it enters the material existence, in the material world, it is covered by these three modes. These are like binding forces, right? Just like in the olden days, when they would mill the oil, right? In the mill, they used to have one ox tied to a center pole, and the ox would move heavy weight. That weight would crush the the seeds to bring out the oil, right? So just like that, the jiva is tied very tightly by the modes. They influence everything that we do, right? That's why sometimes people say, if a person is born, this person's nature, it wouldn't change until he dies. That's what people say, right? We hear all these, because the inclinations, the proclivities, the vasanas, they are called in Sanskrit vasanas, right? Those are very strongly rooted in the jiva based on his past karma. Means in the previous lives, suddenly a child who is just 5 years, 6 years old, he has this habit of stealing. How does he get that? It is past lives, karmic baggage he has, right? So as soon as a person develops body, all his past inclinations start haunting him, right? So that is how it influences. But the good thing is, generally on the material platform, you cannot get away from your modes. the innate modes. All of us have, certain tastes, certain inclinations. Some are, Krishna conscious, some are not. Many of them are not, our desires, our plans, they're not fully aligned for us to be able to progress in devotional life. But if we, carefully perform our devotion service, especially nama, chanting of the name of the Lord, that has the power to completely erase our past inclinations. Cheto dharpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. That is the first verse of Sikshastakam by Lord Chaitanya. Cheto darpana marjanam. Cheto darpana marjanam means our mind is like a mirror, right? In a mirror, if you see yourself, you should be able to see your reflection of yourself exactly as you are, right? As your face looks, it should reflect. But if the mirror has on its surface some dust particles, then can you see yourself truly? You cannot. The reason is the dust is covering the reflection of your true self, correct? So similarly, in the material world, we are covered with our, the desires, but if you go to the pure root qualities, it's kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsaryas. So these are the unwanted things that are there within the chitta or consciousness of all the living beings in the material world, no matter who you are. Whether you are, the sweetest person in the world, you still have all these inclinations because they are coming from the past. But the remedy for all of this is the holy name. The holy name has the potency to cleanse this dust on the mirror so that your true soul reflects itself in its original glory, right? So that is the path that we have taken, right? That's the easiest path. There are other methods, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Karma Yoga. All these are there. Either some of them are slow or ineffective in the Kali Yuga. The medicine of holy name is like a high dose injection that can cure the disease in this, especially in Kali Yuga, where influence of illusion is very high. The holy name is the remedy for us, right? But before that, we need to know how much we are influenced by the modes so that we can actually see when the holy name is working on us, how much we are changing, right? You know your past inclinations, but how far are you in your Krishna consciousness? That we'll know when we know where we stand, right? So recognizing the supremacy of modes within a person, right? So we'll go through these verses 10 to 13, where we'll see how these modes influence us. Okay, one second. Rajastamascha vibhuya. You can unmute yourself.
We are seeing the slides.
Yeah, we don't see the.
Okay, one second. See screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Rajastamascha vibhuya.
Rajastamascha vibhuya
Sattvam bhavati bharata.
sattvam bhavati bharata
Rajasattvam tamaschaiva.
rajasattvam tamaschaiva
Tamasattvam rajastata.
tamasattvam rajasthatha.
Anyone please read?
Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance, O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times, ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy.
So one may be predominantly in the mode of goodness or maybe in the mode of passion, but the time, place, circumstance changes these combinations. Sometimes even a very bad person who is predominantly in mode of ignorance and then passion can act with generosity, right? Can act with kindness based on the situation, right? So that's the competition that is referred here. Sometimes a person who is in the mode of goodness may act out of emotional imbalance. He might act more passionately or ignorantly, right? We know sometimes people act, but that's not their true nature. They might act very angrily, or they might act very selfishly sometimes, but we know that is not their core, that's not their nature, because over a life, over a period of time, we know who they are. It's just not because of one conversation we changed our opinion on people. So that is the competition that is referred here. Sometimes because of circumstances, one may be preoccupied with ignorance even though he's in goodness mostly, right? Yeah, so we'll learn about that anyway more as the chapter progresses. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate
Prakasha upajayate.
jnanam yada tada vidyat
Jnanam yada tada vidyat.
vivriddham sattvamichyata.
Vivriddham
Vivriddham sattvam
Satyucha.
Yeah, please read.
The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge.
The gates of the body. What are the gates of body? These are the indriyas, right? We have indriyas through which we acquire knowledge in this world, right? There are 9 gates in the body: 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, the mouth, the genitals, and the anus. These are the 9 entry points or exit points for the body, right? So through which we experience the world. These are the only things. Otherwise, there is no experience of for us, right? So when every gate is illuminated by the symptoms of goodness, it should be understood that one has developed the mode of goodness. What do you mean by illumination by symptoms of goodness? Symptoms of goodness means you can hear anything, but if you are knowledgeable, you hear only pure things, right? Means you act in knowledge. Otherwise, you might act to hear, to satisfy your senses, right? You might eat anything, any nonsense you can eat. But if you have the knowledge of what is the good thing to eat, what is the bad thing to eat, then you distinguish and differentiate. You don't eat any putrid food. You would, just because it is appearing nice. You are careful, right, when you act. So when you are illuminated by knowledge, right, the gates will be illuminated by light, meaning the inputs and outputs are controlled, right? They are, you act with discrimination, right? So that is all mode of goodness. That's the simplest way of understanding how a person acts in mode of goodness, because all his indriyas are illuminated by knowledge, means they are engaged with discretion and with sense of clarity, right? They're not just driven by, many people are just driven by their senses, right? For example, I see something I want to buy, whether I don't consider whether it is really useful for me. I like it, I want to buy. So that is like your senses are dragging you towards that. So that is not illumination by knowledge. The illumination by knowledge means, hey, whether it really helps me, am I going to benefit from this? Then only I'll buy, right? So that is applying knowledge on that. So similarly, everything is like that, right? You can discriminate what is right, what is wrong, right? So when you have the discrimination, then you are acting in the mode of goodness. All the gates are eliminated by knowledge. Lobha pravrittir arambha
Lobha
Lobha
pravrittir arambha
karmanam ashama
karmanam ashama priha
rajasi etani jayante
rajasi tani jayante
vivriddhe bharatarshabha.
vivrite bharatashava.
Yeah, please read.
O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, rooted to activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop.
So when a person is primarily influenced by the mode of passion, right? Mode of passion. So if a person has a lot of passion, then how do you know? Based on his actions. He has strong inclination to achieve results in this world. You want to buy this, buy that, buy car, buy gold, or whatever, right? Could be a job, promotion, whatever it is, right?
Prabhuji, could we say a person is in mode of passion if whatever they do or whatever they put their hand in, they go to extremes to get that? Can
Yeah.
we call such people in mode of passion? Like
Yeah, they
everything is
want-
extremes for them.
Yeah, it's like these top players, right? Like tennis champions,
Yeah.
they perform intense endeavor. Not only them, like it's not just them. Even
Yeah.
we see our colleagues, friends.
Yeah.
They are all driven by desires to fulfill their desires, right? They
Yeah.
have strong inclinations, so they are never satisfied because of that. Because the reason is there is always something that is lacking in their life. right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mode
And there
of
are too many of them.
Hmm?
You feel sad to look at them sometimes.
Oh yeah, so I mean, everybody has this. This is something that
Yeah.
in the material world, it is rare somebody is directly in the mode of goodness. Very
Yeah.
rare.
Very rare. Yeah.
A lot of people, 99% of the population is this, by the way. It's no surprise if you still have, don't feel bad. Everybody has. So,
Yeah.
but thing is, understand. So when the real problem here is, what is the real wrong, right? Anything achieved in this world is only temporary. It's like child hankering after a toy, and as soon as the toy is achieved, their desire will move on to the next toy, next toy, next toy. As a child, you are after toys, and as you get to college, you are after degrees, or becoming the best or getting a good job. As soon as you have children, you want to make money more and more and more and more, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, then you want to achieve things for your children, right?
Yeah.
This is how passion moves you, based on your phase of life. It just gives new carrot every time. It's like a carrot before you. You get it. It's like a donkey after the carrot. Never happy, because always driven by desires to achieve things in this world, right? But unfortunately, you may die any day, and you may have to give up, and completely. The whole family circle is coming together like a bubble in this world, right? Bubbles coming together. How long is this family, this home, this thing? You have lived millions of lives, just like bubbles coming together, separating, and again bubbles coming together. So many lifetimes we did, and we are going to do again and again. As soon as the new family comes, again, all these passions, desires, everything is reoriented, adjusted, and living and dying for your family. again and again, right? So
Yeah.
that's what this is all, mode of passion is going to make us, right? So we need to objectively think, hey, what is the real object of life? Objective of life. And what am I doing? Is my plans aligned with that? If not, what do I do about it, right? Why am I hankering so much? All I need to do is, take care of my children, take care of, basic needs. That's all is the primary goal. Rest all is bonus, right? And am I after that, or am I after, achieving so much more in this world? What do I want, right? So we need to be cognizant always, be objective in life to avoid this trap. One,
Prabhuji, but now, like in this Kali Yuga, mostly all the people are like they are comparing each other and they want to do what the other person is doing. Even they don't think about whether they are capable of doing that or not. So,
Mm.
but how do we achieve the balance? Like, because there is always comparison.
Mhm.
Oh, how much the other person is earning and how many properties he has. So how do we uh, get ourselves, like maybe train our mind, or we know that we read Bhagavad Gita and we can convince ourselves like these are all temporary, but sometimes it works and sometimes it is too much.
Yeah, I know. It will take time. It's not going to be one day. You have developed it over millions of lifetimes, those desires and those inclinations, those. So see how you can use them in the service of Krishna, right? When you are trying to, focus on your child, see that he's also Krishna conscious. That is your real thing, right? You do whatever you are doing for his, you want to teach him music, or, want him to be good at math, that is fine. But as long as you also as much care for his Krishna consciousness, then you are doing the right thing, right? You should see, Arjuna did not give up his archery, right? He was practicing day and night to be the best archer in the world. And that is his nature. If you ask him to stop, he will be feeling bored and he's going to, he is going to go into depression, right? So it's not that we see, the nature is not going to change. Our nature, our innate nature is going to be fixed. What we should do is whether we can orient our inclinations in the service of Krishna to begin with, right? So, if you remember in 13th chapter or 14th chapter, 13th chapter, I think. So there is a description of 13th or no 15th, I think it will come later. So the sequence in which we go, right? First thing is at least offer your fruits, right? Gradually you can develop yourself, right? It's a gradual process. First thing is you're not disturbed by the negative results you get in life. Everybody endeavors, everybody fails, and everybody passes, right? First thing is, be detached from your fruits, right? That will give you at least mental peace. Then second level is offer that fruit to Krishna, right? Accept that whatever happened in your life is for my benefit, because after all, Krishna is God, right? And he's father, and as a father, he wouldn't want anything bad for us. If something happens in our life, that is for our good, right? Understand that you have limitations, and what you can achieve is again going to be limited. It's not going to be, I wouldn't achieve whatever I want, right? So whatever you do with your honest endeavor, limited endeavor, again, not like over endeavor, limited endeavor, you do your best, whatever comes, accept, move on. No expectations further beyond that, right? No comparison. There is no question of comparison. You don't know what is his karma, right? He might be the best person today, and he might achieve the best degree or maybe the best rank in the IIT. Tomorrow you don't know whether he will get cancer, or you will get cancer. Who knows, right? So there is no comparison between people. Everybody is a different make. It's like comparing a Ford car with Subaru or something like that. Everybody is different, everything is different. The question of comparison between kids, or if there is something to learn from others, well, good, take it. But otherwise, there is no saying that, hey, that person is better. He see how he is doing better than you. No comparison between others, how much we have versus how much others have. Because ultimately we know whatever you have, who is giving it?
It's
God,
Krishna.
right? Yeah. So whatever one has, right, is given by Krishna, and whatever. So if somebody gives you, what is the best use of it?
To offer Krishna.
Yeah, the best utilization of it is to actually do some service back to the person who gave us, right? Whatever, right? You offer, like every year we offer fruits to our teachers, or something in kindness we exchange. The reason is we acknowledge that they are the reason for our knowledge, right? Whatever we do, we acknowledge with our parents. For example, they do so much selfless sacrifice. So similarly, whatever capabilities we have is given by God, and be grateful for it. So there is no question of comparison, because his karma might be that he get to achieve that, right? Why should we do our best, and whatever comes we accept happily, and see where you can improve objectively, right? That's how life should be. That is the right way, right mindset, and we live happily, and we are never dissatisfied in life, right? Be happy. And sometimes it may take time, sometimes we may feel, oh, that person worked so hard, so less, but he got it, and I worked so hard but I didn't get it, this promotion or whatever, right? We all have
And that happens all the time, Prabhuji.
all the time.
So, yeah,
And sometimes surprisingly we don't expect anything, but we get it.
yeah, absolutely.
I have seen, like, when when I really worked hard, I didn't get promotion, but when I was very easy, and I, just like that, without me asking, expecting anything, I got it. So I felt like, so the endeavor that you do is going to a different bank. The results we get are from a different bank. There is just like, I give this example of farmer, feeding his godown. With every year's crop, or the result of his crop, he's going to drop from the top of the what do you call it, granary, and for his own consumption he will take from the bottom, right? So today I might take rice which was conserved maybe 6 years back, and 6 years back maybe the crop was not good, the rain was not good, the quality of rice you got was bad. This year you put the best effort and you got the best result. You worked hard, you sincere, and you put the best grains from the top. In spite of putting the best grain from the top, you got the worst grains from the bottom. What do? Do you feel disappointed? Anybody? You put the best effort, you expected the best, you got the best, but you are just storing back, and you're taking from the bottom, which is which was saved like 6 years back. Our life is like that. Whatever we achieve is not just the result of your immediate actions. It is your karma is also there from the past, that also is mingled with your current actions. So overall, what we achieve is based on not just, and we should have the what do you call, adhikar to achieve something. Unless that adhikar is there, means the sanction, right? We tell God is upadrishta anumantacha bharta bhokta maheshwara, right? Upadrishta, he is the overseer, and he is also permitter, if you remember that verse we read. So he is an overseer and permitter, meaning he actually grants whether you can get something or not. It's not your manager or your company CEO that grants your bonus. Ultimately, it is the Krishna who grants, and then everybody is just a spoke in the wheel, right? So if you don't get, it is not the manager that is the problem. Sometimes we see the immediate. So we can change our mindset completely based on this, discussion what we are having today. What is in our hand is what we should focus on and do our best. But whatever comes upon us is nothing to do with what you did. Nothing, right? I had personal experience. I worked the best, and when the result came bad, I completely understood it. This is Bhagavad Gita sloka. Just Krishna is teaching me through this particular experience of me, that in spite of what we do, the result we get is completely independent of what the action you did, right? And I had other experience also where I did below average, work, hard work, and I got the best result. So it works both ways. And in neither situations I was upset or I was unhappy or dissatisfied. I continue to do my best. For the farmer, he should continue to do the best of his endeavors to get the best crop. And over a period of time, if he tries to keep only the best rice, all that he gets out is also only the best rice, correct? But it takes time. You cannot expect it today. It takes time. So everything is same way. So when we become Krishna conscious, how that influences our life, we should understand this also. So is my karma going to change if suppose I was to suffer with a disease, or I was to suffer humiliation or suffer some depression based on my past karma? That is the next thing that is supposed to come to my life, right? How does Krishna consciousness influence your life, or presence of Krishna influence in your life, right? Whatever is due is called prarabdha karma. Whatever is due that you are about to experience in your current life is called prarabdha. So you have this baggage of karma called sanchit karma. Sanchit karma is the cumulative accumulation of all the past results of the actions that is still due to be worked upon you, right? That is something that is going to come to you over many lifetimes now and forward, right? But there is already a piece of it that is carved out for your current life. That's called prarabdha karma. It's like within the sanchit karma, a subset of results that will be given to you in this life, right? Prarabdha karma. Sanchit karma will be taken care by Krishna consciousness. If you just chant the holy name sincerely, it just burns away all the sanchit karma that is to be experienced in the future, right? But what happens to the prarabdha karma that you are supposed to experience in the current life, right? Prarabdha karma, everybody has to go through, no escape, generally. But the way a devotee who is Krishna conscious experiences his prarabdha is slightly different. He gets through that, but he is given a token punishment instead of the actual punishment. Suppose if you have to break your hand, it will be like a finger cut, right? Or you will have enough knowledge to face the situation in a much better way, right? While you would have gone to depression, if you had gone through your prarabdha based on your past karma, you wouldn't go through depression. You would face it successfully, and your connection with God increases in that experience, right? So the prarabdha karma is given to you. Still, you still get either a token of it or the direct experience, but with the strength to face it. However, you can successfully face it, right? So that is Krishna's hand in one's life, right? So that's how it works. Anyway, that's a big distraction from the topic. Originally, what we were discussing is, so there is no question of comparison because everybody is different, and we should focus on what can be done within our hands, right? No comparison. No, my friends, some of them are CEOs. I passed out from IIT. Some people started companies. Some people, they're in big positions. Some people, they choose to be a professor. They're working as lecturers in India, even though they are from IITs. So everybody is different. So there is no question of comparison in terms of material facilities. Material facilities are just given to you so that you can actually use them in service of God. If you're not using, what is there to even talk about it, right? If somebody has a better car, better home, better, materially educated children, how does that matter? It's just this one life. What about the millions of future lives they will have? You are Krishna conscious, you can end all of that. If you are Krishna conscious, you're already ahead of 99% of population in the world, right? Because you know what is your purpose of life. Most 99% of people don't even know. So it's like, there was this, beautiful smelling hair. It has the best thing in itself, but it is always confused. Where is this nice smell comes from? It always runs around the entire forest to find it, but it'll never find it because it is coming from itself. So similarly, the true joy, true happiness is within ourselves, and that you can be revived through spiritual knowledge, spiritual awakening. So once we have this knowledge, there is, literally, it's like putting dirt back, by comparing with materialistic people who don't even know what is the purpose of life, right? So never ever, compare yourself with materialistic people. If you compare with devotees, that may be really helpful. Maybe if you are, if you find that other devotees are doing more chanting, I should do also more chanting. I should please Krishna more. That is going to really help you. I should study Bhagavad Gita, understand and apply. Those are, what do you call, beneficial comparisons. But if you are still stuck in the material because of past nature, that is not worth it. Actually, it's not even worth. You are comparing, comparing an ant to yourself, comparing, how fortunate the ant is. It's not even meaningful. You have Krishna in your life. Most people don't even have. So already we are far better than Bill Gates or, what do they achieve? After this life, they're going to come back as, another human being or, something else. So what did they achieve ultimately? In spite of all the riches they have in the material world, it's worthless, right? So we are already better off than everybody in the material existence, okay? In terms of real purpose of life, right? And not in terms of, it doesn't matter. All the other things are really immaterial for us. So yeah, so at least that knowledge should be fixed in your mind very clearly.
Yes,
So that,
Prabhu, and ironically, in my experience, sometimes it is absolutely a third person who's comparing you with someone else, like a friend or a distant relative. And in my experience, once I came into Krishna consciousness, I have at least learned how to ignore and just move
just
forward, because you
smile
cannot
at them.
change.
You are still stuck in that, rat race.
Yeah.
Even if you are the best rat, you are, if you are in the part of rat race, you are still a rat, right?
Yeah.
Don't want
So
to be
it's just ignore and move forward.
See,
That's
the problem is they know nothing better. That is the reason they are speaking that.
yeah, absolutely.
They have no idea what the purpose of life. They don't even know that soul exists. Whenever somebody argues with me about God or anything, because they can't understand that, I tell, do you understand who you are? First of all, do you know who you are? They try to answer that. They can't get it. I just focus on that one question. You don't even know who you are. What are you talking? What are you talking about achievements in this world? What are achievements in this world? They are going to be gone very soon. as soon as you get a disease, gone. Cancer, gone. What are you talking about this material world? Right? So useless, you're just wasting time. Don't even, if you are going to be stuck in that, don't waste your time talking to me. Okay?
Yeah, yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah, it's better to distance yourself from such people.
Yeah, if they're, just laugh at them, you should be convinced about what you are, what you
Yeah.
know and what you are.
Yeah.
So very, it's very clear, we think these are our children, but you had, you have a child recently, Mataji. Did you manufacture the child? How the child is going to be like, how many, what color, or, did you even think about any of that?
No, Prabhu.
You're just given, the whole thing was manifest in your body. That's, mystery, magic, how, this whole thing is manufactured in your, in one's tummy with, such incredible intelligence and, eyes, ears, the whole digestive system in that little body. So the world is fascinating. It's all God's creation. God is visible in every action he does. We can't see and they can't see. And how are we are like, suppose two ants are walking and they're discussing about, hey, my home is bigger than your home. How do you feel when they discuss that? You laugh at it, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And these ants, they will die by tomorrow, and they are thinking about their, homes. How silly, right? This is exactly how, when we act, when we endeavor in that, tiny mindset, that's exactly how the people in Swargaloka feel, right? The higher living entities than us. Just like we think, if an ant feels I am better, I'm richer than the other ant, it appears meaningless at your level. The other ant might be feeling depressed, but for you, it's just you're far above that. So we can't be at the consciousness level of these people of the material world. So we have to rise above that. So when we rise above, then through the knowledge, that's why reading of Bhagavad Gita every day really helps, because that knowledge sinks in slowly. It takes a while, because right now the knowledge for most of us is just theoretical. It's not realized knowledge. Until that, that step over happens, that should come as realization. When that happens, that's when you actually appreciate Krishna consciousness truly. Until then, you need to be patient. You have to be patient, have faith in the process, have faith in Krishna, have faith in knowledge of Gita, that this is true, and I need to still get to the place where I can understand. And this knowledge, which is theoretical in our mind right now, to be transformed to real practical wisdom, that takes spiritual endeavor. It's not going to just happen magically. We need to do spiritual endeavor. What is a spiritual endeavor? One of the Navaveda Bhaktis. The easiest is chanting the holy name. If you chant every day holy name, yeah, hearing, like we are, associating with each other, means talking about Krishna together or talking about knowledge of Gita. So these actions, this process of bhakti would transform our heart, right? It would really give us the impetus to practice Krishna consciousness, increase our faith and bring us closer to God, right? 1 second. So let's move on to read the next. One in the mode of passion is never satisfied with the position he has already acquired. Manjari, can you sleep here? Okay, so one in the mode of passion is never satisfied with the position he has already acquired. He hankers to increase his position. If he wants to construct a residential house, he tries his best to have a palatial house, as if he would be able to reside in that house eternally. And he develops a great hankering for sense gratification. There is no end to sense gratification. Always wants to remain with his family and in his house and to continue the process of sense gratification. There is no cessation of this, and all these symptoms should be understood as characteristic of mode of passion. See, we can see this, right? A lot of people spend their entire life in building a good home they want to live in. By the time they build the home, they are already old. They can't even enjoy it. This happens in our life. In the meantime, they could have spent and learned so much Bhagavad Gita, studied Bhagavatam, gotten closer to Krishna, perfected their life, and never have to even come back to the material world. Such a chance is lost because of their passion. Aprakasho pravrittascha
Prakasho pravattascha
pramado moha evacha
Pramado moha
eva cha
tamasi etani jayante
Tamasi jayante
Vriddhe kurunandana.
Vivriddhe Kurunandana.
Please read.
When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested.
When there is predominant ignorance, this is the third one, right? We saw the passion means inclination to action. Goodness means knowledge, illuminating all the senses. And now passion is, inspires people to no action, inertia. They don't act. People are sometimes they have this analysis of paralysis by analysis. They want to act, but they'll never act because they are always confused what to do next, right? And then madness. A lot of mad people are because primarily they're in the mode of ignorance, right? They're confused. Their actions are always, short-term oriented, and these people compare a lot with others, And illusion, a lot of illusion means they have their own plans and desires, and think that things would happen in one way. Things will never happen that way. Unfortunately, they think this is good, that is good, but it never works that way. Unfortunately, yeah, it's a lot of illusion. So when there is no illusion, knowledge is absent. So when there is no illumination, knowledge is absent. This is exact opposite of mode of goodness, right? Mode of goodness means people act with discrimination. Mode of ignorance means they act foolishly, one after the other. One in the mode of ignorance does not work by regulative principles. He wants to act whimsically for no purpose. Even though he has the capacity to work, he makes no endeavor. He can work, but he will never work. This is called illusion. Although consciousness is going on, life is inactive. These are the symptoms of one in the mode of ignorance. Yeah, so these are people in the mode of ignorance. So we'll stop here. I have to go to temple as well. There is Goda Devi Kalyanam today. We'll resume next week from 14th verse. I hope the discussion was useful today.
Yes, Prabhu.
So we'll continue.
That's nice.
Prabhu, if you have
Thank you,
just
Prabhu.
1 minute,
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask about Sanjay Prabhu.
Oh, yeah.